Isaac.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Meyer. My goodness, we are already drowning in amazing content. Drowning is a negative verb. We could find a positive verb for that. So much great content here. I've been taking notes and enjoying it. Very quickly, I'm going to go as well, try to speed talk to allow as much time as possible for those who follow me. So if you go to the next slide, very little bit about me on the next slide, really who I am, where I come from. I'm also from the business side of how do we engage with corporations? How do we make businesses and organizations better? I'll just draw attention to the bottom. I focus my skills and what I've been learning and developing and sharing with the world really around coaching and enabling. I want to coach and enable individuals, coach and enable teams, and coach and enable organizations to be the very best they can. And so on that vein, here at the Mental Wellness Society, for this question, can HR impact resilience in a VUCA world? I have 3 words for you. Next slide. Those 3 words are, and we'll go through them very quickly, results, and the next word is change, and the next word is systems. And that's fine. I'll just go. I have an updated slide deck. I'm just going to talk for a minute. You can keep this up here. That works for me. Let me talk to you about those 3 words, results and change and systems, right? So number 1, results. There is so much demand all around us for results. Every company, every organization, they're demanding get more with less and get it now. I'm sure you feel that pressure. I'm sure you feel the do more with less and make it happen. And here's the deadline. The market is pressing for more growth, more returns, more of everything. And then you switch to the individual side, right? We've got social media, and all around you see people who have it much better than you do. And so there's this demand for more results. If I can't, juggle 15 chainsaws, me juggling 2 apples is just not impressive. And so there's this pressure for more, 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 more. And so we have to recognize that in that pressure-filled state, as we're driven for more results, that can cause what we just heard about, that stress, right? Inside of us, we can have that fear of danger to us, whether we're losing our status or respect or our job. And that fear can create those stress responses, which shut down so much of the decision-making, so much of the innovation and the brainstorming that we want people to bring into the corporate world to make a difference. So one more thing on results. When we talk about results, there are the ones that I would say are urgent, the fires, and those in the business world. They're the got to do it now, the customer's complaining, drop what you're doing and do this. And so many people I work with spend their days putting out fires, spend their days chasing that urgent result. And yet the important work of helping the individual to grow in their career, establishing healthy patterns and processes inside our organizations, the effort to create an environment for people to grow and learn, that is important, but it gets drowned out by the urgent, right? So the results we focus on, sometimes we need to be intentional about fighting for those important results and not just fighting for the urgent, whatever the demand is of the moment. So let's talk about second word, results. Second word is change. All around us, there's change. I love the agile practices and frameworks, Scrum, Kanban, all of these things. They focus really on change as a way of getting things done, right? So how do we get the objective? How do we achieve the business result in a VUCA world using these agile practices, techniques, and approaches? And so those are all wonderful. We can use those to overcome change, but it does not do anything to address how we as people handle change. If your environment changes from under you, what you expected doesn't happen. If you find yourself feeling threatened, we've heard about stress already. We've heard about things that constrict us and close us down. And so even though we recognize positive change for the individual, the team, and the organization is what we need, we are very bad at enabling and equipping that in the current corporate setting. Why? Because we're fighting those fires, right? We've got all those fires and things we have to fight. So when we look at Mind Evoke and all of the Mental Wellness Society content, when I see its application in the corporate world, I see us being able to encourage individuals to develop that resilience that we just heard about. That resilience will decrease the stress and enable effective and healthy change in a complex, demanding, fast-paced corporate world. So as HR individuals, what can I do to impact resilience in this VUCA world? It's enabling healthy change really through that resilience is how you can do it. So we've got results. There's the demanding results, and then there's the results of helping people to achieve their goals. Then you've got change. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is systems. We can't just think about these things in isolation. We have to think about them in light of a larger system, right? There is a whole system impact going on. And if you disagree with that, we were talking about the VUCA world earlier, right? You've got things like the pandemic, right? That impacted everyone. And we discovered how brittle our supply chains were. You have acquisitions at a company, right? So we just bought another company and we incorporated them and our cultures are clashing. Or you could even have life events in your personal, the birth or death of a loved one, something changing in your personal world. All of these things impact the total system. So as an agile coach, we look holistically. We don't want to just say, well, let's just deal with this little piece of the person while they're at work. It's much larger than that. And that's what I love about the Mental Wellness Society is it enables looking at the whole person, who they are at home, who they are at work, who they are with their family, who they are with their friends, who they are under crisis, who they are while a pandemic is happening. And it has tools that we can use to address all of those. So results, we looked at change, we looked at systems. So let me bring this in for a close. So what we are trying to do with this is to increase awareness for people in the corporate world, right? Understand that there are things you can do to make sure that you have those positive results and you enable your people to be the best they can. You're learning about a lot of it today. We also are providing tools and training. There's a lot of this that we are making available, not only this webinar, but books and resources and materials that you can begin to infuse into your systems. I'll tell you this, it will take time. You will need to invest your time in diffusing this through your organizations, or you won't see the benefit of it. And the alternative is don't focus on any of this and just let the fires keep prevailing, the stress keep happening, and you'll continue to see the levels of burnout and quiet quitting and frustration amongst your employees and your organization that you might already be feeling. What we also offer, which is very exciting, is the corporate level systemic improvement, right? So when we look at a corporation, how can we change things for the whole organization? We can change them through a number of things. We're introducing this idea of a corporate resilience officer who is responsible for making sure the organization grows in its resilience from the individuals to the teams. We're introducing wellness rooms. You'll hear a little bit more about all of these ideas. Wellness rooms, a place people can go to take a breath, step away from the hurried pace of your normal day. We're introducing training cohorts. We're introducing coaching. Those are things that we can support in organizations to help increase that resilience awareness. So to wrap up, and my final thought here is, what is the question that we hope you're asking from this webinar? How do we take away, and what's the question we're asking? And when I think about how your goals are achieved, my hope is that you think, I need to change my systems. How do I do that? The organization I serve, how do I change those systems? And my hope is that you can apply the 3 words that I've been talking about. Results change systems. They're not results like we just got, 10% more increase, but results in supporting your people, being the amazing HR people you are. Results with your people will change your systems, and you'll see better results for the business on the other side. So that's all of my time. We'll get the slides updated for you guys in the afterwards, but thank you, Dr. Meyer.
Dr. Kelly. I know you start late.